of times when, and Izza can tell you too, we work for a Golden Retriever Rescue organization, and I can't tell you how many times where, I tell people that, and they look at me and they say, well, why would a Golden Retriever need rescue? Who would give up a Golden Retriever? They're such wonderful dogs. Why would they be given up? Well, unfortunately, they are. And these are some of the primary reasons why dogs would come into our program. The most important one, the most common one, would be young Golden Retrievers that are very active, very energetic, and we hear over and over, this dog needs too much time, I don't have time, I don't have the space, I don't have the energy myself to take care of this dog. So everybody loves a cute little puppy, but that cute little puppy turns into a rowdy teenager. And now Sammy is not real rowdy for a teenager.
She's not.
Really never was.
No, she never had a chance to be a puppy, I think.
But there are many 3-year-old Golden Retrievers that would be much more energetic than she is, and would be just, I would say, bouncing off the wall, not literally, but they are very high energy. Moving, can't take the dog. People who work in rescue or in shelters often hear, I'm moving, I can't take the dog, and sometimes we think that maybe is a little bit of a smokescreen or an excuse for other things that they just don't want to tell us, but sometimes it is true. Divorce, families split up, many times the dogs will go with one or the other of the couple, but sometimes neither one is able or willing to take the dog. Financial distress of the owner, and this is something we see more and more. It's really very sad because there are many families that really want to take care of their dogs, but maybe the mom or dad has lost their job and they're laid off and they just don't have enough financial means to either just manage the food and the veterinary care, or more often what happens is the dog gets sick and needs some extraordinary medical care or needs surgery, and they don't have the money for it. So they have to find a new home for the dog. Sometimes the owners themselves are sick or have health issues, or sometimes they die, and then that's a reason why a dog would need a new home. Allergies, sometimes the dogs don't get along with each other in the home. They get into fights and squabbles, and you can manage that, but not everybody is comfortable doing it. Stray dogs, everybody knows when I say stray dog, a dog that got lost. Usually they come through an animal shelter. Stray dogs will go to an animal shelter, and then the animal shelter will contact us to see if we can help if it's a Golden Retriever. And puppy mill breeder dogs, which we're going to talk about in a minute, are a big part of the dogs that come to us, and I'll tell you more about that. Any questions up to this point? Izza, want to add anything? So this is another video. We'll see if this one works. Just to be optimistic. Okay. So this is very short. And all I wanted to show here was the life cycle of a Golden. People see that cute little puppy. Oh, I want a puppy! And they look forward to this age, where they're older and more sedate. That's my girl. Who's a real couch potato, but she's 13 and a half. And they forget about that middle part. And that's pretty tame, actually. Those are just some dogs that were playing in our yard. But they very high energy, they jump, they need to chase that tennis ball. So a lot of times people just forget about that part. And that's the reason a lot of dogs do come into our rescue program. So this is just a quick overview of who we are. Dvgrr stands for Delaware Valley Golden Retriever Rescue. Our mission, our purpose is very simple. to provide new beginnings for displaced golden retrievers. So any golden that needs a new home for whatever reason, we are available to help find that dog a new home. We were founded in 1993, which I guess was before most of you guys were born, using a foster home model. And by foster homes, I mean that the dogs in our program lived with private families. The dogs came into their home and stayed with them in foster care until they were adopted. And that's how I started. I got started as a volunteer in 1994 as a foster home. So for the next 6 years or so, I had about 20 Goldens that came and lived with me, not all at the same time, and found new homes. But we always wanted to have our own facility. That was our dream. And in the year 2000, we were able to make that come true. We found a boarding kennel that was for sale in Reinholds, and we were able to raise enough money to purchase it, and we turned it into our home. We call it Golden Gateway. There's only maybe 3 or 4 other golden retriever rescues in the country that have their own facility. And there's probably about, what would you say, 50 golden retriever rescues. Yeah, most of them use the foster home model. And for other purebred dogs, it would be about the same. Most of them use the foster home model. So we're pretty unique in that we do have our own facility. It helps us do a lot more, but it's also very expensive to run it. It takes a lot of work. We average about 250 to 280 dogs coming through our program every year. And since we started, we've placed about 3,200 Goldens into new homes. So these are some pictures I took yesterday of our Golden Gateway facility. This is our main building here. It's not real big, but this houses offices and the kennel space. This is our store, and that's very near and dear to Inza's heart, because she is the store manager, and we have a little store right on our premises, and we carry a lot of wonderful merchandise. Inza's done a fabulous job, and it's a real source of income for us. So we brought in over $100,000.
$127,000 last year
in sales.
T-shirts, mugs, dog collars, anything you can think of dog-related reseller. Mostly golden retriever. We have a web store too that you can order things on the website.
So it's a great way to help us raise money to support what goes on in here. And this is our van, and I just took a picture of that. Not a very good picture, but has anybody ever seen it riding around on the road? You did? Okay. You can't miss it. It's a black van, and it has these pictures of golden retrievers all over it. Pretty cool. So now let's talk a little